Let us learn about verbs today. Verbs, as we all know, are doing words, and very frequently we call them as action words. That means they show the action being done in the sentence. But you know what? Verbs tell us much more than that. Let us see where all verbs are used. Verbs tell us what a person, animal, or thing is. That means they tell us what a person is, what an animal is, or what a thing is. Verbs tell us what a person, animal, or thing has or possesses. So they tell us what they have. And you know what? Verbs may be made up of one word or more than one word. Now, let us take a few examples to understand this better. Monkeys are sitting. So here our subject, that is monkeys, let us see what they are doing. Monkeys are sitting. So these two underlined words, that is are and sitting, they are telling us what monkeys are doing. So these words are used as verbs here and they are talking about the action being done in the sentence. And to look at it carefully, just see, these are not one words. These are two words used here. This shows verbs can be made up of one word or more than that. Moving on to the next one. Monkeys are naughty. So here again we are talking about our subject, that is monkeys. But in this sentence we are trying to talk about what monkeys are. Monkeys are naughty. So this word are is telling us what an animal is. So our word used here is a verb and it is talking about what monkeys are. So this is being verb here. Moving on to the next one. Monkeys have long tails. So here again we are talking about the same subject, that is monkeys. But this time we are talking about what monkeys have, what they possess. They have long tails. So this word have here is used as a verb and it is talking about possession. That means verbs can be used to talk about actions, to tell being, and to tell what a subject possesses. Verbs can be divided into three basic categories. They are action, being, possession. Let us start with the first one, that is action. Just have a look to the picture given there. What is this boy doing? This boy, he's eating chips. So what action is being done? Eating. Eating here is a verb because verbs, they tell us what action is being done. That is why they are known as doing words. So any action being done in the sentence is a verb. For example, eat, slap, sit, sat, go, come. All these are actions and they are verbs. So verbs are used to show action. Moving on to the next one, being. Have a look to the picture given there. He is a boy. So here, is word is telling us what this boy is. So that means is a verb which is showing its being. Is verb is showing that this picture is of a boy. That means verbs can be used to show being also. They can be used to show what a person, animal or thing is. And these verbs are is, am, are, was, were. And very commonly we call them as be verbs. Moving on to the next one, possession. Verbs are also used to show possession. Verbs, they show us what a person, animal or thing possesses or has. Have a look to this picture. I have a dog. So the word have here is telling that I possess a dog. So have here is telling us about my possession. And have word is a verb which is showing possession. Let us now see whether the underlined verbs show being, possession or action. I have a few sentences here for you where the verbs have been underlined, and we are going to deal with them one by one to see whether they show being, possession or action. Shreya has a doll. Here the underlined word is has. And this word has is showing what Shreya possesses. That means has is showing possession, and that is a verb. Moving on to the second one. The fairy was beautiful. The verb here is was, and was is showing us the state in which the fairy was. That means it is a being verb, because it is showing the state or condition in which the subject is. Moving on to the next one. Rohit can sing well. Here you have two words underlined, and as I told you, verbs can be of one word or they can be made up of more than one word also. So over here we have two words. They are can, sing. And they both have been used as verb over here. Rohit can sing well. In this sentence, what is the action being done? Sing. That means they are showing action. Moving on to the next one. They were waiting for a bus. Here the verbs are were, waiting. Again they are showing action. What is the action being done here? Were waiting. So these are action verbs. That means action verbs are used to describe an action like run, cry, sleep, eat, smile, etc. They all are action verbs. I have a few more examples here. He is eating chips. So, what is the action being done here? Is eating. So, here eating word is the action verb. Then what is over here? Is just a linking verb. It is helping us to link the subject with the rest of the sentence. Moving on to the next one. He plays badminton. Here the verb is plays. That is the action. So plays is describing an action over here. That is an action verb. Greg is kicking the ball. So what is Greg doing? What is the action being done here? Kicking. Kicking is the action verb and is the linking verb here. Verbs are also used to show what a person, animal or thing is. That means they tell us the state of being of a person, animal or thing. And these verbs are also known as be verbs. Is, am, are, was, were. They are all be verbs. And we all use them in routine framing sentences. But we don't realize what kind of verbs they are. These verbs are known as be verbs. Let us see which verb is to be used. The first one is here. Is a be verb which is used with singular subject. Let us take an example for better understanding. He is a good boy. In this sentence, if you observe, he that has been circled for you, he is the subject, that is the doer of action in the sentence. Or he, you can say, is the subject about whom we are talking. He is a good boy. He is singular, that means one person. So it is a singular subject. And with singular subjects, we always use is when we have to use be verbs. So is a be verb used with singular subjects. Moving on to the next one, are. Are is a be verb which is used with plural subjects. That means when the subject given in the sentence is not singular, it is plural. They are smart. Here the subject is they, and they is more than one. That means is plural in nature. So they are smart. Here we cannot use they is smart. With plural subject, we always use are. They are smart. Am, am is exclusive in nature. It is only used with I as the subject. Whenever the subject in the sentence is I, with that we use am. Am is not used with any other subject. It is only used with I. But not to forget, am is always used in present tense. We'll discuss that a little later. Let us have a look to this example given here. I am intelligent. Here, whom are we talking about? We are talking about I. That means I is the subject. And as I told you, with I, we only use am, but not always. This is only when we are talking in present tense. That means whenever we are using present tense, only then we will use is, am, are as be verbs. But what happens in case of past tense? Let us have a look. In case of past tense, that means when we are talking about something that happened in the past, all we have to do is to replace is and I with was. That means was will be used with singular subject, or if the subject given there is I. Let us take an example for this. He was a teacher. Here the subject given is he, and the underlined verb is was, because we want to tell over here that this man in the picture was a teacher. Now he is a teacher. We're not trying to say that. We're trying to talk about his past. So he was a teacher. So in case of singular subjects, we use was when we want to talk about past, and we are using a be verb. Same happens in case of I as the subject. I was beautiful. So here the subject is I. And with I, again, in spite of using am, in past tense, we use was. In case of past tense and our subject given is plural, then we use were. That means we will replace are with were in past tense. They were naughty boys. So here the subject is they. That means more than one. That is plural subject. And we want to talk about these boys But we want to tell they used to be naughty. They are not naughty now. That we are not sure about. But we want to tell that they were naughty in the past. So here with plural subject they, we will use were. That means in case of past tense, we use was with singular subject and I. And were is used with plural subjects. Always remember, if the subject given to you is you is always considered as plural subject. So, whenever the subject given to you is you, we will only use are or were with it. Verbs are used to show what a person, animal or thing possesses. And for that we use has, have or had. Let us see where they all are used. Has. Has is used with singular subjects. Let us take an example. She has a book. In this sentence, the subject is she. And she means one person, that is singular. And here in this sentence, we want to tell what she possesses. She possesses a book. So we are going to use has as a verb over here to show what the singular subject she possesses. So she has a book, and has here is a verb. Moving on to the next one, that is have. In case the subject given in the sentence is plural, that means more than one, then we will not use has. We will replace has with have. They have toffees. So over here, they is the subject, which is more than one. That means it is a plural subject. And they possess toffees. So to tell what they possess, we have to use have over here because they is a plural subject. But always remember, has and have, they are only used with present tense. That means if the sentence is talking about present, only then we will use has or have to show possession. In case the sentence is not in present tense, it is in past tense, then has or have will not be used. They will be replaced by had. And it is really simple. Here, it does not matter at all whether the subject is singular or plural. In both the cases, we will only use had. Have a look over here to this example. She had a book. Here the subject is she, which is singular. But with singular, we have used had because here we want to tell she used to have a book. We don't know whether she has it now or not. We're talking about past. So, to whenever we are talking about past, we will use had to show possession. So, she had a book. In the next example here, they had toffees. So that means over here, the subject is plural. And with plural subject also, we are using had because whether your subject is singular or plural, it does not matter in case of past tense. All that matters is that in past tense, has or have will be replaced by had. Time to revise now with the help of a mind map. Verbs are used to show action, being, and possession. Action words. Action words are those verbs where an action is shown. For example, eat, sleep, eat, eating, go, going, come, coming, study. All these words are showing action. They all are known as doing words or verbs. Verbs are also used to show the being of a person, animal, or thing. Commonly, we call them as be verbs. Be verbs are is, am, are, was, and were. Is, am, and are. These three are used for present tense. Was and were are used for past tense. That means whenever we are talking about the past, we will use was or were as be verbs. And when we are talking about present, we will use is, am, or are for present tense as be verbs. Always remember, for singular subject, that is, if the subject in the sentence is singular, we will use is in case of present tense and was for past tense. And if the subject is plural, then we use are for present tense and were for past tense. And always remember, I has a special be verb for itself, that is am. But this special be verb is only used in case of present tense. Otherwise, for past tense with I, we use was. Possession. Possession means verbs can also be used to show what a person, animal, or thing possesses. These verbs are used to show the belongingness. That means the possession of a person, animal, or thing. These verbs are has, have, or had. Has and have are used for present tense, whereas had is used for past tense. We use has if the subject given in the sentence is singular, and if the subject is plural, we will use have. Whereas in past tense, there is just one verb, that is had. Whether your subject is singular or plural, it does not matter. For past tense, we will only use had. And the tip that I gave you today was, always consider you as a plural subject. You means you will always use plural things with it. That means in case of is, am, are with you, you're going to use are. Was and were, out of these, we will be using were with you. Has, have, had, out of these with you, we will use have and had. I hope you all have understood the topic well, and I request you all not to forget to subscribe my channel. Till then, happy learning!